To open or not open, that's the decision I'm going to make today about unboxing my toys. Now, you might be a collector out there and you might be going through this same issue that I have been going through for years. I've got a problem with these figures. I started collecting and got the odd one. Like anything that happens in your life when you become a collector slash hoarder, you just end up collecting like crazy. So I'm not even going to go through them, but you can see I've got loads of them. Since I started being a toy collector, I've scoured the internet looking for confirmation that my decision to keep everything in their boxes is the right decision to make. But the fact that I've constantly been searching for that decision and searching for people to talk about this with means that I want to change my mind, or my mind's up for being opened. It's just not an easy decision to make, but I wanted to make this video because I've made the decision. And at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, and I'm going to use this video to go back and go, that's the choice you made, Steve. That's the choice you've got to live with. Now, it's not an easy decision to make because once it is out, there's no going back. But before I reveal what my decision is, we're going to go through the pros and the cons of keeping it in box versus, you know, taking it out, freeing these from their plastic prisons, because that might help some of you guys who are scouring the internet like I do all the time, looking for someone to confirm their decisions. Now let's talk about the pros of keeping these in their packaging, and the most easiest one we could all go to straight away is that they preserve their value. If you are someone who wants to collect toys to sell them on later, or maybe sell them on later, then that makes sense. You don't want to open them because they'll lose some of that value. If you're like me, who is not bothered about selling them because I've never got into this for selling toys, there's got to be a lot easier ways to make money, I'm not bothered about that point. And I've got to be honest, I don't think these new toys, if you're collecting new toys, I don't think they're as collectible or as valuable as the vintage toys of, say, the 80s, like the original Star Wars figures or even the original Motu figures. I don't think they're as collectible. I think a lot of people have these, and maybe a lot of them bought them and put them in the lofts and things, so I don't think they're going to be actually worth that much money in the future anyway. Now, the second point is the display appeal, and this one gets me because I love the way these toys, these Masters of the Universe Origins figures, for example, they look incredible. They look very much like they did in the 80s, but the artwork and everything that's gone into them, on the backing card and the front, even the plastic bubble, the sticker, the way the figure is just standing there and the way they all look together looks incredible. And it kind of mimics, and this is why I understand why we collect toys like this with the backing cards, because it kind of mimics the way we'd see them when we were kids in toy shops. And if you didn't have a lot of toys when you were a kid, you might have just remembered holding them or seeing them a lot in the likes of Toys R Us or something like that, and that's the kind of memory we're kind of connecting with. So I totally get why we want to kind of mimic that toy shop appeal, that toy shop surrounding. And I just really appreciate the look and feel of good packaging. It's just really well designed, these things. Unlike some where you can't even see the figure because it's windowless packaging. I mean, there could be anything in there. It could be like a brick or a shoe or a slipper or something in there. You never know what's in there. All I'm saying is the packaging is part of the experience for some of us. Now, the third point about the pros of keeping your toys in their boxes, their packaging, is because it protects it from dust. And also, it protects all the little things that come with the accessories, because you might lose them. Say the little backing comic that comes in there, the little mini comic, and any little the weaponry that comes with them. Let's be honest, most of us are going to lose those things. We did as kids, and we probably will as adults. If you've got loads of these figures, you're probably going to lose all of that stuff. So that's something to think about. If you do decide to open your figures, you've got to do something with these things, because you're probably going to lose them. But keeping them in their packaging ensures that all that stuff stays intact. Now let's talk about the cons of keeping your toys in the box, and the first and most important one for me is that you can't do anything with them. Like this figure, for example, has a feature where you click its head many faces and his head will turn around. Now the person I bought this from is probably trying to do it because you can see the plastics all depressed there, so it's wrecked it a little bit. But you're supposed to press that and his head will spin around. And there's loads of figures I've seen and embarrassingly got really excited about collecting because of all the features they've got, only to get it home and not being able to do anything with it. So that's really sad, really, isn't it? I get really excited about all the features of the characters I can't even use. I can't even pose them. I can't take photos of them unless they're just in the box, which I love the artwork, but they do feel like a little bit of a barrier for that point. The second con of keeping your toys in their packaging is space. Now, if you're like me, you've got very limited space, and you can see at the top here, I've got loads of these figures, and there's figures behind those figures. I can't even get to them. That's ridiculous. Sure, it's kind of cool to swap them in and out on the shelves, so they look a bit different each time you walk into the room, you know, every month or so, just to give it a bit of a refresh. But there's a big part of me which is that I could just take them out of the boxes and display them a little bit differently, and maybe get more figures on there. But as of now, you can't really see behind any of the front ones. It's like they don't even exist. My third and final point about the cons of keeping them in the packaging is that we're missing out on a tactile experience with the figure. You know, those experiences we had as a kid, we can transport back to them when you're playing with these again, but now we can't because we're just basically playing with the packaging instead and admiring them as if there's something in a museum. There's nothing wrong with that. I actually love that. This is why I'm conflicted. So here's my decision then. I've grabbed another figure, by the way. I am going to open my toys. It's not an easy decision, as I've said before. Here are my 3 main points why though. Number 1, I was never going to sell these anyway, so I was never collecting to sell, I was collecting to enjoy. Number 2, space. I need more space for more figures. And finally, number 3, content. I'd like to make videos or photos around my collection, and the packaging is a little bit of a barrier because, you know, there's only so much I can do. Get this on a spinning wheel forever and that's about it. But I'd love to extend that and do some more fun things with the characters outside the boxes. And one thing I will do, I will use the videos as a memento, because if I'm going to be unboxing these toys in the videos, at least I can go back to the videos and say, look, that's when I had the figure when it was in its full shape. And I will do something with the backing board as well. I'll collect those in some kind of file, and they're not getting thrown away. The plastic probably. Maybe this. I'll maybe give this. I need to draw the line somewhere. So side note on that, as I was editing this video, this wallet arrived. I've ordered it, and I think this is going to be great to display or keep hold of those backing cards of those Origins figures. Because look at it, like, it'll just be the right size here. Just open this up. I mean, I haven't completely opened it up, but you can see it's just going to be a great size for these. Only these though. I don't know if any other figures are going to work with this, but because I've got a lot of these figures, this is going to be great to just keep hold of these. So, you know, I'm not going to have as much remorse or guilt because I'll be able to keep hold of these at least. So there you have it. There's my big decision. I'm going to open my toys. So in the next toy related video on this channel, you're probably going to see me opening or unboxing one of these figures, or a bunch of these figures, let's be honest. And will I have regrets? Definitely, because I think with all big decisions, you're probably going to get some big regrets as well. But I'll have this video to go back to and, you know, reassure myself. Anyway, if you are going through the same issues as me, please let me know in the comments. Or, you know, I want to know either way which way you're going to go on this. And wish me luck. See you in the next video. This is my Masters of the Universe bookcase, pretty much. You can see I've got a lot of the... I mean, it's a problem. That was me hitting Castle Grayskull in the face.